Welcome everyone to another backstage interview from our silver version of the Metals Investor Forum. Thanks for taking the time to join us here. I'm joined right now by Mike Konnert of Vizsla Resources. And in the time since the conference, which was a week ago or not even, I think, news has come out of adding another rig at the Panuco project. So why don't we use that as our launch off point here? Let's talk about, 7 rigs is a lot. Let's talk about where they are. And I guess also, that's a big question in itself, but also what does it take to run 7 drill rigs in terms of, that's a lot of decisions to make, a lot of data to process. So yeah, start wherever you want on those 2 broad questions that I just threw at you.
Well, first of all, thank you. I always enjoy doing the interviews, and thank you for a good silver show too. So it was fun to do. What does it take? It takes a really good team, and we've got an excellent team. Charles Funk, our technical director, has done an excellent job bringing in people from all over Mexico that have really gelled together. We started with 5 geologists running around the hills, and then we had 10 geologists. I remember people saying, "Oh, it's a lot of geologists. What do you do with all those guys?" Now we're certainly a lot more than that, and we're about 200 people, contractors and services and geologists and helpers, and we've actually started to employed pretty much everybody we could out of the town there. So first of all, it takes a great team and great teamwork. But we have 7 rigs on the ground right now. We're going to 8 in the next few weeks, and the dispensation of that is essentially Napoleon. The Napoleon vein corridor is 4 rigs, successfully grid drilling to the north and the south of the Napoleon discovery. Now, interestingly enough, in Napoleon, we've actually now had some comp set been sent to us, and the discovery hole, the silver GT of the discovery hole is about 48,000 is the GT number, and that's the second best in the world according to the data that we saw after Adriatic. So really quite an impressive discovery hole there back last year in the summer. Now we're stepping out north and south from that with 4 rigs, and at Cordon de Loro, which is about 6 kilometers to the east of Napoleon, we have 2 rigs drilling there. We think that's an analog to the Animus vein corridor, which is the most developed vein corridor in the district. We think it's probably been responsible for about 100 million ounces of silver historically there. So we're drilling that area close to Animus. And we also have 1 rig at Tajitos, which is closer to Napoleon. It's almost kind of in the general same area. And so the final rig will come, and that will drill to the northern end of Animus and do some kind of wildcat drilling, testing some new targets in the field there.
And that would be, all of those are important and have their own potential for excitement for sure. If you can, the Cordon del Oro area, like you said, you're really excited about what that's going to turn into. Tajitos is a pretty new area in its discovery trajectory, if you want to call it that. And then a roving rig, I'm sure the market is excited about that prospect. No guarantees, but one of the things that you need for the Panuco project to come together on the scale that you think that it can is to just keep making new discoveries. No pressure, but you just need to keep making new discoveries, like significant ones. And you have a major list of targets. So yeah, you need to be out there testing them while still advancing the discoveries that you have through the delineation process, right?
Yeah, and the pathway to the success of Vizsla and the re-rating, of course, it's going to come on the back of us moving rapidly into a producer. Comes from likely the initial mining will start at Napoleon, where we've had some excellent grades, and we're investigating the next steps when it comes to the mill that's actually in production, and it's something that I don't think maybe the market understands is how fast we can move from high grade discoverer developer into producer.
Yeah, for sure. And then on that the new targets pyramid, so to speak, are there some that jump out there that you maybe want to talk about a little bit, just so to hang that out in front of people a little?
Well, I will say that I'm still very excited probably most about Napoleon and Tajitos, that area. I think that's going to really be surprising in terms of The excitement around some new drilling there, or step out drilling there. But as far as our graph, or the organization of the drill targets moving from the left to the right, from identification to advanced drilling to resource drilling. Some of those, the targets like La Bamba at the north of Animas is quite interesting. Some of the stuff to the northeast of the district. Again, we're talking about a 14-kilometer wide district here. There's a lot to discover. We're actually doing EM and airborne to look for other targets that, they're kind of not outcropping, perhaps flatline structures, that type of thing. But the targets at the end of northern end of Animas really stand out to me as exciting ones. And there's more surprises to come too.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, a lot of rigs, a lot of balls in the air for you to juggle, but that'll also mean a lot of news coming out at people. So, I mean, constant drill news for sure. And at this point, that's what it is, right? There's no other major news event scheduled, by which I'm hinting at. You don't have a peg in the timeline for when you're planning on putting together a resource or anything like that. At this point, it's truly a develop these known discoveries and see what else you can find through the rest of 2021 to see how that fleshes out.
Yeah, you know what, we're one of Mexico's most aggressive explorers, and so up until basically halfway through the year here, we're just drilling. We're going to have 8 rigs, and those rigs are going to be working pretty hard. And so, it's steady drill news till then.
Fantastic. Thanks for the little extra run through there, Mike. And I look forward to, as usual, keeping up with everything all the news that you're pumping out of Panuco.
Very good. Thanks, Gwen. Appreciate it.